NASA safely returned a sample from asteroid Bennu back to planet Earth, and they announced a UAP independent study team. Does it get any crazier than that? I don't think so, but let's talk about it in this episode of Orbital Space News. Hey there everybody, it's Nick from the Orbital Alliance. Welcome to this episode of Orbital Space News. But before I get into all that crazy NASA stuff I talked about at the top of the video, you should go check out my 1,000 subscriber celebration video that I posted this weekend, because I'm currently doing a giveaway here on the channel and you can win this awesome Lego Space Shuttle kit. Yeah, it's this tiny little thing that can be perfect for your desk. Maybe give it to your kid, have something fun to build, but it's all about getting excited about space exploration here. All the rules are included in that video, so be sure to watch it so you don't miss your chance to win. So let's dive into some updates regarding the commercial spaceflight industry. We've got news from Blue Origin, which has been kind of dormant for a while, Virgin Galactic, which has been on a hot streak, and SpaceX, which continues to be at a holding point with Starship. So let's get into the mess. We have our first tidbits of news in a long time regarding Blue Origin and their New Shepard launch system. They have been known for launching commercial crews into suborbital space, meaning that they hop and they come back down, they do not go around Earth, but they've been launching crews of all kinds of people, a lot of celebrities, high profile folks, contest winners. One of the hot topic people that they actually sent to space in New Shepard was William Shatner of Star Trek. Yes, the Shat went to space at over the age of 90, and it was awesome to see. Blue Origin had been doing a lot of amazing launches all in a row, sending new crews and brand new people to experience space for the first time. And then they did a test flight with no crew on it, and they actually had an anomaly where the craft blew up, and it tested the launch abort system properly. The capsule actually jettisoned and landed safely, but the booster itself blew up, and they actually had to halt flight. And it's been almost a year at this point since we've seen the flight of New Shepard, but there are rumors that they'll be returning to flight in October of 2023. I'm hopeful for Blue Origin to get New Shepard back on the launch pad very soon, because they're also working on New Glenn, a heavy lift rocket that's going to be delivering payloads to space for NASA and other contractors. So we'll see what happens in October and whether or not they launch New Shepard again, but I'll keep you posted. But enough about Jeff Bezos' company Blue Origin. Let's talk about Richard Branson's company Virgin Galactic, which we brought up here in past episodes of Orbital Space News. Virgin Galactic has been launching VSS Unity, which is another suborbital spaceflight rocket launch system that has been delivering commercial crews into space, mostly for the very first time. Recently, we reported here on the Orbital Alliance Orbital Space News that Virgin Galactic 02 successfully launched the first mother and daughter duo into space, and just recently we saw Virgin Galactic 03 mission take place, where they were able to launch 3 more commercial crew astronauts into space for the very first time. So this is a pretty exciting cadence for Virgin Galactic as they continue to launch about once every month, and it is also rumored that they'll be launching Galactic 04 in October, so be on the lookout for the next round of Virgin space flights. And of course, we have to do our due diligence and talk about Elon Musk's rocket company, SpaceX. Specifically, let's talk about Starship, because we've reported a bunch about Starship, and they're leading up to the potential second opportunity at doing an orbital flight test of the Super Heavy booster and the Starship launch system. Last time we reported that September 8th was the upcoming potential launch window for the orbital flight test. However, I did mention in that video that that was optimistic and said maybe it would be end of September or early October, knowing the FAA and SpaceX with all their delays, and that's exactly what happened. The FAA came forward and said, hey, we're just not quite done doing our investigation of the previous flight test because there was a failure, so we're not going to issue a launch license to you until we finish this up. So SpaceX is ready, it's sitting on the launch pad ready to go, so we're just going to have to wait and hang on to our seats until SpaceX can fly, but at least we kind of have a little bit more of an update on the time frame. Now, before we get into the crazy NASA updates, if you're enjoying this episode of Space News, would you please consider giving this video a like and maybe even subscribing to the Orbital Alliance so that way you don't miss future episodes. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, these crazy NASA updates that I mentioned at the top of the video. Number 1, NASA themselves actually held a press conference with NASA Administrator Bill Nelson, as well as other administration members, on a panel regarding UAPs. And normally I wouldn't really go into any of this on my channel, at least not in great detail, because it just sounds kooky, but NASA held a conference about UAPs. And if you don't know what UAPs are, it stands for Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena, which is basically the more modern acronym for UFO. So if you're familiar with what UFOs are, that's what a UAP is. Now, they decided to address this head on because there's been all these crazy congressional hearings and whistleblowers coming forth that there are these kind of underground government agencies and black ops groups that have been researching on alien technology for decades and not really telling anybody. It doesn't feel like this should be real space news, but here we are, it's 2023. But in this press conference, Bill Nelson talked about how they are actually establishing an independent study team of research professionals from educational institutes and research centers to study these UAP sightings and determine if they are from extraterrestrial origin or not, or how we can learn from them to better our space exploration. Which is just crazy to hear that that's real. And Bill Nelson actually announced that they're appointing a director for UAP research at NASA. They aren't going to release the name of the person apparently because that is just going to be drawing too much attention to this independent team. They want to keep it isolated so they can perform real science, which sounds awfully convenient if you ask me. I'm just kidding. This is the conspiratorial side of me coming out. But all of this is just super cool to learn about. You can watch the whole press conference on NASA's YouTube channel. They have the replay for you to go back and watch. Quite frankly, I think it's gonna mean we have a much more exciting future in store for us. And number two, let's get into the most exciting part of the episode. NASA successfully returned a sample from asteroid Bennu back to the surface of planet Earth for study. This is the first time NASA has ever returned a sample from an asteroid, and I'm sure it won't be the last. The OSIRIS-REx mission, launched in 2016, took 2 years to get to the asteroid Bennu, where it took an additional year and a half of orbiting it to scan the surface for an optimal deployment site, where the probe in 2020 deployed its instrument into the dirt and the rock and the ice, collected a sample, and then moved away, where it took another 3 years to return back to Earth. And just this past weekend on September 24th, 2023, the sample re-entered Earth's atmosphere, where it was collected by NASA scientists. This, of course, is pivotal for the research community because asteroids are almost untouched time capsules from the beginning of our solar system's creation. Asteroids hold some of the keys to how our solar system was created over 4 billion years ago. As the samples are safely unpacked in a laboratory in a protected environment, scientists at NASA are going to be learning much more about the origins of life, our solar system, and the cosmos in general. So congratulations to all the teams who worked on OSIRIS-REx. It was a successful mission. So what was your favorite news topic of the video? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to go enter the contest to win this Lego space shuttle. You can find it there on my 1,000 subscriber celebration video. Don't miss your chance to enter. As always, I am extremely grateful for you watching my videos from start to finish. That is the best way that you can support the Orbital Alliance right now. And if you missed previous episodes of Orbital Space News, you can watch the playlist right here. And so you don't miss future episodes, be sure to click the notification bell. I'll see you all on the other side.